I'm Grant Nelson. This is my dog Bailey here to my right, and welcome to Mustache Off Grid. Oh yes! Yay, 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 yay! Finally! Woo! Hi guys, it's Grant Nelson again here with the Mustache Off Grid YouTube channel. In case you're new to the channel, I cover various off-grid and homesteading topics. I live off-grid in southern Missouri in a one-room cabin, one of those shed cabin prefab things. And I cover various off-grid and homesteading topics every week. So I'll get right into the video here. I've been having trouble coming up with a topic. It's rifle season right now in Missouri, and I haven't got a deer yet. I've had quite a few come by, and my mind's really just been in the woods. It's been hard to come up with topics because my mind's been in the woods. That's just how it is sometimes for me. But anyway, I did come up with a topic, and today's show is going to be a little bit different for you guys. I was kind of thinking, talking about tools on a homestead, what's the most useful tool? You know, obviously you got things, you know, if you're going real primitive, which I like to, think, what would be the most useful tool if I had nothing? You've got things like an axe that would be very good. A lighter, would be very good in a situation like that, or fire starting material, or flint kind of thing. Things like that could be very useful. But I came up with something that, not every homesteader may think of. If you're building things, this can be kind of a something that you can use for a lot of things to secure them. And this junky old wire right here has probably a million different uses, honestly. This is tie wire right here. I've got this roll of galvanized electric wire to my right here. I couldn't find my roll of tie wire. I have it laying around somewhere, couldn't find it. But I figured this stuff would work about as good. So, I mean, I use tie wire generally speaking, but you can use any wire that you have on hand. You don't have to go spend if you already have a roll of wire on hand. Might as well use what you have instead of spending money you don't need to spend. But yeah, just junky old wire like this can secure a lot of things. I've used it for hinges on my chicken coop over there, which I can put a little clip of that in the video just so you guys can see. When I'm talking about the hinges, guys, if you've got a door like this or some sort of door structure, if you drill a hole in it, you can run the tie wire through the hole, run it around inside, and it's not a great hinge, but you can see I use it to hold the door secure in place, and it actually does work pretty good. I mean, it just kind of an interesting thing. Figured I'd add it to the video for you guys. Couple eggs in here. Bailey, come on, quit chasing them around, Bailey. Yeah, you can see the chickens out here, guys. There's a bunch of leaves on the cage. See what I'm talking about? You can use it for securing gates, latching on gates and fences, things like that. If you don't have T-post clips, you could secure a fence with wire like this. I've seen people fix holes in their fence with wire like this. You could make a you could take wire like this and you could make a little iron sight on a gun. You could put it around the barrel, and I mean, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but you could get it to a point where you could maybe hit like a deer from close range. It's not going to be as good as if you had an iron sight welded on there, but if your iron sights broke off or you don't have one, you could make a DIY iron sight with something like this. I use it for the rabbit cages, making little hinges and doors on the rabbit cages, as well as securing the water bottles on the cages. I even used it to secure my headlight in my car. Because my headlight in my car, I hit a deer and the headlight broke out and I had to put a new headlight in, and a lot of the stuff inside was broke out. Most of it wasn't, but there was enough that I could secure it. But then the spots that were broken, I took some of this tie wire, and I was able to kind of secure it in there and get it real tight. And if you want to get it real tight, if you get yourself a pair of pliers, you can twist it and it'll make it real, you know, it's going to be a lot tighter than you can do with just your hand. So that's a trick there. You can break it off. I mean, you could use it as a needle. You could probably make a fishing hook out of it for small fish, because it is a little bit bendable. But for like bluegill and crappie, you could probably make a little fishing hook in a survival scenario. You can make a knife handle, you know, put it around wood if you want, metal knife handle type of thing. There's just a wide variety of uses. And I decided that for this video, I was going to make a primitive survival tent, show you guys how to do it, show you guys how to secure it with this tie wire. All I'm going to use is tie wire, trees out of the forest, and a tarp. So I'm going to show you guys how it's done here. I guess I'm using my chainsaw here too, because I'm cheating a little bit, but you don't have to use a chainsaw. Like I said, you could use an axe in certain situations. So, I'll get that here real quick. Now I'm going to say this, guys. If you were in a survival situation, this ain't something you'd want to stay in long term, but maybe you're just camping for a week. If you're in a region that doesn't have as many ticks as mine, this is a real good option. If you're out here, I would recommend digging into the ground a little bit if you're in the winter time, and kind of making mounds. You know, dig a hole, if you can, a trench, mound it up, you know, a foot or two. If you can get piles about that high, a spot for you to lay in there in the ground. If you don't have an elevated sleeping, and if it's not summertime, that's going to help cut down on the bugs in there. It's also going to help with water runoff in certain situations. So if you have a way to dig, a shovel, if you can dig a trench that you could sleep in, pile the dirt up a foot or two high around that trench, and, you know, make it smooth, and then put your tent up over that trench. It's kind of like a dugout structure a little bit. So if you could do that, that's going to help keep you warmer at night in the wintertime, help you from freezing to death out here in the Ozarks. It'll also help with the bugs and the water runoff. So something to consider if you're building a tent, planning on staying in something like this for a long period of time, you know, a month or more, maybe even a week. You know, think about what I just said there, digging into the ground, kind of making a little trench, and mounding the dirt up around that to help with the runoff, the bugs, and everything else, and that'll help keep you warmer as well. So anyway, I'm going to get into it here. I'm going to cut down 2 quick trees, and we'll see what we got here. These look like good ones right here. These look like pretty good ones over here. Now I'm going to have to cut these out, and we'll make it as long as we want to make it here. Now guys, now we've got a bunch of logs. You know, they're not really logs, they're more sticks here. I like to use the hickory. This hickory I will be probably bringing to my Amish friend because it's about the right size. Because they buy hickory from me if it's like an inch or so. So we got our pile of sticks here. And I might have to cut them. I'm going to have to cut them the length a little bit. Alright, so we got our pile of sticks there. I've got a tarp here. The tarp does have a hole in it. You know, obviously if you're in a situation, it'd be better to have a tarp that doesn't have a hole in it. That's, you know, obviously that's obvious. But it is what it is. So we got a tarp here. It's one that's got a hole in it. You could probably use a bigger tarp if you want a bigger structure. This is just very basic, just tutorial to show you guys, you know, something you could do. Okay. Now, I'm going to lay this tarp out like this. We're going to look at how tall we want this thing to be. And that's why I said if you mound the dirt up, you know, that would make it a little taller as well if you put the tent structure on top of the dirt or around the mounds. We'll probably go this way. I think it's about 6 to 8 foot long. So like I said, if you had a longer tarp, it'd be even better. Probably about that high. So we'll cut it and then we'll cut it to size in just a moment here. Well, these clippers are junk right here. I gotta sharpen them or something. That's okay though. Where did I put that chainsaw? There it is. These sticks right here. And like I said, we're kind of hillbilly measuring a little bit. You'll kind of got to measure a little bit with your own, you know, eyes a little bit. And you'll make it taller or shorter, you know, depending on how tall you need it. I'd say I probably need to take a foot or two off each of these sticks here. Once you get some that are the right length, you can use them as a template. So once you get some that are the right length, you can use them as a template for the next ones. And you know, as you guys can see, as you guys can probably see, it takes a little bit of measuring, you know. And this is going to be one that you kind of would just maybe just about 6 more inches off that, I'd say. See guys how this looks here. Looks like it's probably going to be close now. And I cut a little extra just in case it was too long or vice versa. Them are about perfect there, so I'm going to cut 2 more. Cut 2 more that are about the exact same height here. And like I said, guys, these are kind of like if you were in a survival scenario, you could use an axe for this same process if you needed to. If you had an axe on you. And this is going to be the kind of place, this is really just a sleeping quarters, guys. That's the way you're going to think of it. Okay. So then basically the next step, I'm just going to wire these together with the wire. So I was talking about how useful this wire is. And I'm going to use cutters, but you don't have to use cutters. Now, I've got a piece of wire here. One thing you can do if you want to make it a little stronger, if you want to make your wire a little stronger, if you double it up like this, double it up like this, it's going to be a lot stronger. I usually do that on all my gates. I double it up because it lasts a lot longer. And it's a lot stronger grip. Basically, if you find a tree like this to lean against, it seems like that works pretty good. But you could take this wire, secure it, and I'm going to use the pliers just to make it even tighter here. Yeah, if you're twisting something like this, if you have some pliers, you can do it a lot stronger than if you just had your bare hand. So keep that in mind, guys. You can actually almost break the wire if you do it too much with that. So keep that in mind here. I am going to snip some of these little branches off these hickories right here. And I could use this wood for smoking too. It don't really matter. I got tons of hickory trees out here. There's no shortage of them. So they grow like weeds. These hickory trees are pretty invasive. And this could be a good place to store some stuff if you're going off grid as well. Maybe you have a small wood structure you built and you just got some things you want to keep dry. maybe you want to keep firewood dry, a structure like this could be good for those things as well. All right, so we got that. I'm going to cut a little more wire for the next one. And I might actually use this for storing some firewood or something, actually. I'm kind of liking that idea. But you take your tie wire, doubled up like I was telling you guys. You can kind of use the other ones as a template like I was talking about. These pliers are the easiest thing to lose. You could set them anywhere. You could lose them in your back pocket. But, alright. So that looks pretty decent to me here. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to measure how long this thing is kind of with one of these, and I'm going to cut one to length, the length of it. And some of you guys might kind of see where I'm going with this, which is okay, that's fine, you know, but it's still interesting to watch. All right. So if you got it leaning up against a tree like that, that's good. I'm going to set this one down over here. Basically, you'll set it in something like that. I'm going to tie wire that first here. And like I said, it's best to double it up if you can. Like I said, you could lose these pliers right in your back pocket, guys, which I just did there, as you saw. Well, I made this one a little short, so we might use that one for the hickory. That's okay. There, that's a lot easier. So, pro tip, guys, never done this before, but if you lean it like that, that helps a lot. Alright, so then you just take your tie wire around it, twist the tie wire. Like I said, if you want it to be real good, you take your pliers if you have them, which you should have pliers if you're off-grid. That's something you can use that's very handy as well, talking about different tools to have. I like to have a couple cheap pairs of pliers. They last a long time and they're very useful for a lot of things. So, alright, so got that. Now just for the other end here, guys. We'll set this back a little bit, just so I think you guys can see that. I'll lean up the hickory side here. And you're definitely going to want to kind of spread it like that. I'm going to see if I can get it to stand on its own. Get it to a point that I can get it to stand on its own. It's like that. We'll see if this is long enough for the hickory side. It might be long enough for the hickory side. If not, I'm sure I'll be able to find another spot to use it. There's more uses than the ways that I'm talking about, guys. That's just some of the ways that I've used it out here personally. Yeah, we'll set it aside here and I'll get a different, a little bit longer piece here. Bailey, get out of there. Come on, boy. They want you in the video. Come here, boy. Bailey's coming, guys. Yeah, he's hiding. He's hiding from you guys. You can probably hear him rustling in the leaves. Well, that seems pretty good right there. Alright, now we'll get this tarp out of here. Alright guys, so you can see the structure here. Tie wire to secure it all. I'm going to twist this a little more just to tighten it up a bit. That's pretty tight right there. It's got a little lean forward on it. I'm sure you could, use more wire. You could probably put sticks like that, things like that to make it even stronger. Maybe even secure the bottoms with a stick. But this is a very simple thing here. It's got balance to it. You can see it wiggles a little bit. So it's not the kind of thing that's going to withstand a, hurricane, but it will keep the rain off you. Like I said, you could take ones along the bottom too, but there's a lot of different ways you could go about this. But for this video, I'm just going to do it very simply. Well, there's a good use for the tie wire. So you can use the tie wire as well here to secure the tarp holes, or if you had a tarp that didn't have holes, you could put a hole through it to secure it. When you do that, they generally don't hold up as long. I know that from personal experience when I first came out here. I did actually use a lot of tarps like this to keep things dry when I first came out here. I didn't use them to stay in like this one I'm designing for, but I did use a lot of them. Trying to kind of tighten it up a little bit, and I think it might tighten up once I go on the other side a little bit too. And I'm just using single strand for securing these guys. And I'm just getting the pliers here, tighten this up a little bit. And you can kind of put them around the sticks if you want. Kind of pull it to the outside around it, and that'll tighten it up as well. So that's something you can do. Just kind of rolling them around them sticks just to give it a little tightness. But basically, guys, you get something like this, you can keep tying them around, you know, on it. Like I said, this tarp's got a hole in it. It's better to use one that doesn't have a hole. You could measure the sticks better, things like that, if you have a tape measure, things like that. Like I said, you can kind of roll these around here, make it tighter if you wanted. But generally speaking, you know, that's how the structure would look right there, roughly. And you can see how it kind of looks. It's just a little thing that kind of keep the rain off you. You can also use the tarps for water catchment, things like that. There's a million uses for tie wire, guys. I just figured I'd show you guys something like this that you could use tie wire for, to make a semi, you know, temporary structure to stay in. Like I said, you could dig down in the ground and mound up the dirt to the outside, to make it extra dry, warmer, and keep the pest out. But anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless. Thank you for watching, and you know, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. There's Bailey right there. What's up, Bailey? All right, have a nice day, guys. All right, we're going in here. We'll take a nap in here. Yeah, guys, so you can see how it is inside here. This would also make a good fort for a little kid or something. If you got kids, they would enjoy something like this to play in outside. Sit. Sit. Come on, sit. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Lay down. Lay down. All right. Good boy. Hey, guys, let's make Bailey famous. Let's make Bailey famous. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mustache Off Grid. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and God bless. Let's make Bailey famous, guys.